In your first round of competition, you'll be using this.
I'm completely confused. There's nothing there.
Don't worry, guys. We didn't forget your steel. All of the tools that you need to make your blades are on the tool stands next to you, including your steel. In your first round challenge, you'll have to pick from the tools on the table in front of you to forge a signature blade of your own design. And just to keep things a little bit more interesting, you must also include a serrated edge in your blades. Your 3-hour forging time starts now. So Harlan and Ryan cleaning teeth off of their files. And then over here, we've got Jared and Eric working with hammers.
I go straight to the grinder to remove the teeth.
Welding. With the 3 files, I'll be able to get my width of the blade and the length of the blade as quickly as possible.
Watch out.
I'm ready to battle.
Now, is it possible to forge an entire blade out of one of those hammerheads?
Yes.
Is that
Shouldn't be a problem. Now, what is the steel? What is that hammer made out of?
right?
I chose the hammer steel because it could take a beating. It's a little bit harder metal. I know it will get hard.
Always waiting for the steel to heat up. I chose a file. I know that the file will harden.
Once you get it in the forge, everything's starting to heat up. You just start crushing metal, putting it in the press, and seeing if your welds are gonna take or not.
Wow, look at Eric's blade. That's dramatic looking.
I'm going to make really big scooped serrations. And it just looks cool.
Shazam! Look at that.
Huge serrations.
There's a lot of ways that a heat treatment can go wrong. It's really the heart and soul of a good knife. I go back to the forge, brought it up to what I thought was the right color, and plunged it in the oil.
And Harlan's in the oil.
When I pull the blade out, everything seems pretty good.
Nice and slidey.
I'm definitely being very conscious of the time. I need to get it in the quench.
No, you don't need any more heat.
Ryan is quenched.
Pull it out, it seems pretty good.
So I got my blade going into heat treat, throw it in the oil, big old flames, great. Everything looks good. I think I've nailed it. Grab a file, throw it on it. Dead soft. I gotta heat it up hotter.
I look over and see Jared. He actually has the exact same hammer that I was working with. I noticed that he quenched in oil first, and it wasn't hard.
Hotter.
And he said, water.
Gotta go hotter.
I heard him say water.
Gotta go hotter.
What's that?
Gotta go hotter.
Gotta do water?
Yeah.
I was like, all right. I am so scared dropping that blade into the water because I know that if it breaks at that point, I'm screwed.
Oh, into the water.
Water to the water.
Good heat. Here we go.
If my blade cracks, I'm kind of SOL.
As long as you don't drop it on the ground.
Not like that.
As any good bladesmith should know, the very worst thing that can happen when you drop a freshly quenched blade on the floor is it can shatter into a bunch of pieces.
That was a bad move.
I see no cracks.
It's hard.
I'm perfectly safe.
Bladesmiths, you have only 20 minutes remaining to finish your work. Now it's the Grinder Olympics.
Got pockets galore.
I find this imperfection, and honestly just don't even stop grinding. Actually grind away and just keep grinding until I can't see the imperfection anymore. By the grace of the metal gods, I was able to get past that little imperfection.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shut down your machines, drop your tools, place your blades on top of your anvils. Your work is done.
I hardly noticed anything you guys were doing. Like, the whole world just kind of collapsed around me. I'm just
Sinks into that moment.
Let's go ahead and take a closer look. We'll start with Jared's blade on the end.
I'm not crazy about the fact that he used the edge of the grinder to make his serrations just because it puts points as opposed to scallops. There's a little bit of a whoop-de-doo in there.
Jason, maybe the technical definition of whoop-de-doo?
The technical definition of whoop-de-doo is a curve followed by another curve, but in the wrong direction. So if we put it this way, we call it a recurve, and that's sexy, but this way is a whoop-de-doo.
I'm just hoping that my blade fully hardened.
Mine definitely got hard, but I felt so rushed.
Let's talk a little bit about Harlan's blade.
It is by far the most dramatic and beautiful serrations among all the blades. Nicely done.
Yeah, whenever we see our smiths not go through the process of thermocycling, we've seen a lot of this kind of cracking.
Let's take a look at Eric's blade.
Looks like it should be aboard a Klingon battle cruiser. I like the curve. It's, you know, somewhat reminiscent of like a wakizashi or something, so I think it will probably cut well if he gets it sharp.
Let's move on to Ryan's blade.
He's got a nice subtle recurve.
There are some cracks on the back of this blade where the files were welded together. One file or the other is cracking. So that kind of tells me that maybe the metal's not one piece.
Ryan's blade has cracks, Harlan's blade has cracks. Ryan's cracks are on the spine, Harlan's on the edge. Of these two blades, which one is worse than the other? Doug, have you determined which of these bladesmiths is going home?
Yes.
Dave?
Yeah, I've made a decision.
Jason?
Yes.
All right, let's go tell our smiths. The judges have finished their deliberation. It is time for one of you to leave the forge. Harlan, your blade did not make the cut.
Harlan, we loved the way you did your serrations, especially on the top. I'm gonna copy that. I just think that's cool.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, we have cracks from the top of the bottom serrations almost the whole length of the blade, and that will be catastrophic when we begin to use that knife. So that's why we have to send you home.
Harlan, please surrender your weapon and leave the forge.
I understand why they made their decision. A blade like that could potentially break and injure whoever is testing the blade. Obviously, after spending 3 hours in a mad dash to finish a blade, I would do a lot of things differently, but I have no regrets.